Hello, everybody. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is So I'm Watching Gilmore Girls, Season 1, Episode 18, The Third Lorelai.
She seems like a pill.
She is. She comes back a couple of times. She's always like this with Emily. But Emily starts getting her own back at like a certain point, which I love.
Yeah.
And also then I think this actress, she plays another character, another like Gilmore character, but like a second or third cousin.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of fun.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Richard's mother, Lorelai I, comes to visit, and Emily is immediately, no thank you.
Yeah, completely out of sorts.
She is a horrible mother-in-law. We get into it more later why she's like that.
Okay.
And why their relationship is so contentious. And it has to do with the fact that I told you, I think it was in the one where Richard's in the hospital, that they are a love match.
Yes.
There was another woman.
Oh, a society match.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we don't find that out for like a while, but I wanted to inform you now because it's like she is just like out of pocket in this whole episode.
She really is.
And you're like, what the fuck is this? What are you doing?
She's also tacky. So tacky.
Like her taste in gifts or whatever. Okay, so in my opinion, I think it's supposed to be a dig at Emily.
Oh.
I don't think it's her taste. I think it's like what she thinks Emily's
taste is. That's rude.
Because also the implication is not that Emily came from nothing.
Yeah.
And met they were at college together, I think. Or it's like he was going to Yale and she was going somewhere nearby.
Yeah.
So it's like she also and I mean, maybe she was like middle class, but she wasn't like a poor girl that like got her hooks in this rich man. They ran in the same circles and they knew each other. So I just think that informs a lot of like all of the relationships, really. So that is like the biggest thing that's happening in this is that the first Lorelai is in town. And Emily can't hang, and Lorelai is enjoying it a little too much. That her mom is, like, mad about it.
When you're watching someone who gives you what for,
of course,
what for, it is kind of delicious.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it's crazy. And the thing I think that's the most important is that Richard can't see it.
No, not at all.
He, like, it's total, like, horse blinders. He just is, like, totally enamored with his mother. He thinks she's just the bee's knees and everything's fine, and he can't see that Emily is having a terrible time, and he just thinks that his mother is like teasing.
Yeah.
But she's so serious about it. It's awful.
Yeah.
So that's basically the big thrust of it. And then also when she finds out that Richard and Emily are loaning Lorelai money so that Rory can go to Chilton, she like loses it and they hang out with her 3 days in a row.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That seems like way too much. And so she immediately excuses herself. And then the next day she's like, loaning money is a horrible business. I am prepared to give Rory her trust fund now so she can pay for her own school. And then I understand why Emily did it, but she went too hard. And she
did.
She gets in Lorelai's head about it because she's like, if she gets that money now, your relationship is going to totally change. She's going to move out as soon as possible. She's going to buy her own car. She's going to go to Europe without you. All of this stuff. And first of all, no, she's not.
Yeah.
Rory would
No, but
never.
she is talking in fear.
Of course. Well, because it's the same thing that happened to her.
Yeah, 100%.
And so she basically is like, I don't want what happened to me to happen to you. But also she's just like preying on all of the worst insecurities. And then Lorelai uses Rory was asleep when I got home as an excuse to not tell her, even though she was awake the whole next day before you went to tea.
Yeah.
Like, please. So it's like, it's a whole thing. I do appreciate that Lorelai and Emily end up in a good place at the end.
Yeah, me too.
Because they get into, they're not even really loud. They're not even really raising their voices.
No.
But they get into an argument at tea the next day, and basically Emily is like, I was right that you wouldn't tell Rory because you know it'll change everything and all this. And Lorelai, or the first Lorelai, gets really annoyed. And like embarrassed maybe that they were fighting.
I don't know.
It's really weird. It's like such weird propriety nonsense. Because she's like, none of you are mature enough to have this money. Like, except for Rory. And I'm like, so still give it to Rory then.
No, but I mean, people with that much money, I feel like are like that, where like they'll take it back at a drop of a hat.
It's just like $250,000.
I know.
So much money.
It's so much money.
Do you know what I could do with $250,000?
So much.
Never work again.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, that's not enough money. And I'm like, watch me.
Yeah. Well, because it's like, I use so little of it now. You don't think that I can make that last?
Can make it last for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't that what happened in Big Daddy? Didn't he get, like, his foot run over by a city bus or something, and he'd just been living off the money for...
Oh, yeah, I guess.
That was some Adam Sandler movie.
I think it was...
No! What? It's Knocked Up. It's Seth Rogen and Knocked Up.
Oh, yeah.
He got his foot, like, or his toe broken or something by, like, a city bus, and he got, like, $500,000, and he'd been living on it for, like, 15 years.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, she basically just essentially takes it back immediately, and then I do also love that Emily just completely forgot that they were already giving Lorelai money and was like, I'll get your father to talk to her and, like, make her give Rory the money back. And Lorelai was like, well, you're gonna still keep paying for Tilton, right? And she was like, of course. And she was like, well, then it's fine. Like, everything still stands the way it was. So it's like, we only have the potential for this huge upheaval in this episode, only for literally nothing to happen or change at all. It's so funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think also, when Emily sits Richard down and is like, this is gonna do the same thing. Like, you don't understand what this is capable. He, like, you can see him kind of processing it.
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna go against his mother, but you can see him having the thoughts. Which I think is interesting. I think it's good that we can see him processing things like that sometimes. So the other big thing in this episode is that Rory and Tristan talk. It's a pretty good talk.
It is.
Yeah. She is such a dummy. She does not realize that he's actually into her.
Yeah.
Like, that he actually likes her.
Yeah. I don't know. Why do we think that is? Is it just because she is inexperienced, or does she not want to see it, or...
I think it's a combination of things. I think she is that inexperienced. So, like, Dean's her only boyfriend, and before that, she wasn't even really interested in boys. It was, like, very fresh. And then, also, I do think there's a part of her that's like, well, I just got out of this relationship that actually meant something to me, so I don't want to get into anything else. So because in her mind, she's like, I know we kissed, but we should probably, like, I'm not in a good space for that.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a third thing, which is she knows that Paris likes him, and she's finally on an okay footing with Paris. And if she does end up going out with Tristan, it's gonna make things awkward with Paris.
Right.
So I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Also, if during these last 2 episodes, no one has guessed what my secret 4th option for Rory is, it's the potential of Kristen. Or Tristan. I said my own name. That's what it is. My secret 4th dark horse relationship for Rory is, I wish he came back in college.
Okay.
And that they made it work. Because I think they could. We still haven't gotten to the point where he leaves.
Okay.
So we'll get there.
Okay.
But that's my secret 4th thing that I prefer.
Okay.
Look, if I'm going like, okay, if you're going that conversation in When Harry Met Sally where they talk about who you pick from Casablanca, and she's like, no, you pick Victor Laszlo because he's the president of Czechoslovakia, like, you go do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it's clear that you just haven't had good sex, and that whole conversation. Then later, she doesn't remember ever having said that, and she's like, no, it's Rick all the way. Like, of course it's Rick. In that case, my thing is, when I was younger, I was like, Logan, who we're years away from meeting.
Okay.
But as an adult, I'm like, no, it's Jess. You have to, like, you both grow up and you fit back into the people that you're supposed to be together. Dean is nowhere on the list. Dean is a Nazi. Dean is the Casablanca equivalent of a Nazi.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But that's where I stand on the three relationships.
Okay.
And my secret fourth thing.
Oh my God.
Okay, so basically they talk and Rory's like, you just like need to try to find a different girl, like a girl that's not like Summer. And she's like, what about Paris? You've known her forever. You know that she's smart and she's funny and she's interesting. And I mean, Liza Wheel certainly has a handsomeness about her, but she's cute. Yeah, she's cute. And like, she just needs a lipstick with a little color on it and some non-funereal clothing. And so he's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And so he asks her out and Paris freaks out, comes to Rory's house. I love that she remembered where she lived.
I know.
Like how to get to her house.
I thought that was really cute. I love seeing that.
Yeah. So she remembered where she lives. She comes over and she borrows some of Lorelai's clothes, which I was like, I guess like she's a lot bustier than Rory. I was like, you could borrow Rory's clothes. They're like younger. Yeah. She's got a couple cute dresses and stuff.
Lorelai dresses young.
She does dress young, that's true. And her boobs are totally bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she borrows an outfit and a lipstick and she looks great when she leaves. And they have a good time. The next day, she says, we went to dinner and a movie and he picked me up and dropped me off and kissed me goodnight. I mean, that sounds like...
I'm kind of annoyed that he kissed her if it was only just for him to say that they were going to be friends.
Well, okay, two things. The first thing is, I think he actually was trying. Like, I think he was like, well, let me kiss her and see.
Yeah, I guess.
And the other thing, too, is that he was doing it to please Rory. So he was like, I'm going to do the whole thing, but he's also still hung up on Rory. So he's like, he knows how to take a girl out on a date.
Yeah, I guess.
I understand. I understand what you mean.
Because, I mean, I think he
But
knew...
I don't think it was malicious.
No, but I don't know. I feel like he probably got the friend vibe pretty early on in the date.
Also, pretty early on in the 15 years they've known each other.
Yeah, so if I know that someone just feels like my friend, I'm not going to kiss them. I went out on a date with a guy. I shook his hand at the end of the night.
You, Rachel.
I know. I panicked.
So for me, I think there's like a checklist where it's like, you know, bring her a flower, come to the door.
Yeah.
Drive to the date. Yeah. Pay for dinner. Kiss goodnight. You know, I think that's like, I think Tristan's got a running checklist every time he takes a girl out.
Yeah. It's just got an ick so hard.
Okay, I have to go on a quick tangent.
Okay.
Have you seen that TikTok where this stupid girl is like, oh my God, I just like discovered a new ick. And it's like when a guy is drinking a Frappuccino and she's like, just like with your little green straw, you order a black Americano like a man. And I was like, go fuck yourself. So I saw someone stitch it, and he just looked silently at the camera for a couple of seconds and he was like, okay, you know what? And he like shot the whole thing, grabbed his keys, got in the car, driving down the road, got to Starbucks and ordered a caramel crunch Frappuccino and she was like, do you want the whipped cream and like everything on top? And he was like, yeah, I do. And then he just like drank it. He was like, this is delicious. And I don't care what you think.
No, I think that's cute.
Yeah.
I saw another TikTok.
It's just like, why are we gendering like sweet thing? Like, why are we gendering dessert?
I don't know. Men, like, I was about to be like, men have it hard enough. What? In this instance,
they don't not.
Yeah, but so they have it. They have a difficult time enjoying things that are very feminine coded, and because it's a frilly drink, because there's whipped cream and sprinkles on it, and so therefore it's probably considered more feminine. I just hate the Frappuccinos when I'm standing in line and I have somewhere to be, and someone orders like 3 of them. Yeah. I'm like, all I want is my vanilla sweet cream cold brew. That's all I want. But no, I think that's dumb. What a dumb thing to have an ick about.
Well, because it's like I have met men that are like, I don't really like desserts for girls. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I've never, ever in my life met anyone like that. Ew. I'm so sad for you.
And it's just like, fellas, is it gay to eat cake? Like, no, What?
Yeah, and that is not a euphemism for eating ass, but
no, it's just also because there were the one that I saw that was like the dumbest, and it's been a while, but somebody was like out on a boat or whatever with his buddies and was like putting on sunscreen, and he asked one of his buddies like, "Do you need sunscreen?" He was like, he basically just was like, "No, I'm like a man," and he was like, "Sorry, dude, is it gay to like not get skin cancer?" It's just so.
Oh my God.
I'm begging men.
Stop it.
I'm begging, begging.
Please stop it.
It's also not gay to touch your own asshole.
Yeah, please wash your ass. Wash your ass. And your legs, please. Don't just let the water
wash your whole body.
Down. Wash your whole body with soap, please.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
Well, the TikTok that I saw, it was a comedy show, and it was like a duo up on the stage, and so they had they like, I guess, asked the audience like if they had an ick or whatever, and so this girl was like, I went out with this one guy, and she said the name of the shoes. I have not heard of it, but she was like, but he put lime green laces in the shoes.
Okay, that is actually an ick though, because there's so like where it's like when men talk about icks, they're like, I don't like an aspect of her personality as a woman, and it's like, that's not an ick. That like that's a personality trait you don't care for in people.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing was she was like, I went out with a guy.
I mean, I think that's a stupid ick, but it is one.
The other one was he showed up in like, was it jorts? I don't know, but then he had like a wife beater on. Ugh. And so, right? So it was like, okay, no, that one's kind of gross. But then the woman comedian was like, I love that both of your icks were fashion related, but you look like some broke down American Girl doll with your prairie fucking dress. It was so completely roasted her.
That's
and
hilarious.
She was like, lime green laces? Let that man wear his lime green laces.
Let that man live.
Yeah. I would want to see the whole thing because I would be like, that just doesn't match. But I don't think it would turn me off.
No, I think I don't know. I feel like there's like specific icks. Like, okay, so going back to like the ice cream and like, or like Frappuccino and like dessert, I think it's like Malcolm in the Middle. But if it's not, it's a show or a movie that's similar to that, where it was like, one time I saw my dad run out the house and chase after the ice cream man in his underwear. And I just am like, that's an ick.
Yeah.
If you're that desperate for ice cream man treats, no.
Yeah.
That's an ick for me. But like, just like, boys can have a little treat in the middle of the day too. Go get yourself a Frappuccino.
The ick would be how they ate it. Like if they ate it in a weird way, then...
The ice cream treat?
Yeah. Oh. I'm like, no, eat it all you want. But if they do something weird in the middle of it, then I'd be like, oh no.
Sure, but running down the street in your underwear?
No,
unacceptable.
Don't ever talk to me ever again. No, don't do that. But yeah, no. I'm trying to think if there's like anything specific, but I think mine is very like person to person related. Because like that guy that I went out with. I don't have
anything that gives me an ick across all men, I don't think.
Because that guy that I went out with last summer, the Dungeons and Dragons guy, I couldn't pinpoint it. But I was like, there's something, he gave me an ick. And I think he was just, no, I don't know. But I like went out with him a couple more times just because I was like, I can't tell if I'm just nervous and out of practice or if this man gives me the ick.
Sure.
But when he did kiss me, I was like, I felt like I wanted to crawl inside my body.
Thank you.
And so then I was like driving home and everything, and I go, like this. I'm like, am I just out of practice or do I have the ick? And so then I had to go back and forth like a million times. Because when he did the thing with the crystal, I was like, okay, un-ick a little bit, but then he did other things that were icky.
Just so everyone knows, it's not because of the Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I was into it. I was like, I fundamentally do not understand this game. Please explain it to me.
That's he just was like the like. That's how I know which dude she's talking about.
Yeah, no, I loved that. He made it very clear. It was in his bio that he was a dungeon master. Cool. So I was just like, I don't know anything about it, so let's learn about it.
Interesting.
I like nerdy dudes, but I don't know what it was.
Well, do you know what's interesting is I also can't pinpoint it. I don't know what it's about. Theo James gives me the ick.
I think it's just because he's smug.
But he only in The White Lotus. No, but as a person, he gives me the ick.
No, because he looks like he's always about to smell a fart, or he like, or he currently does. But he's like, he just looks like he's like discounting you in his brain. No, he's not my vibe.
Yeah.
I think the vibe is just off.
Yeah, the vibe is way off.
So a vibe can give me an ick.
Yeah. Also, it's not an ick, but there are two actors that I hate for no reason. They've given me no reason. And in fact, I like their performances in lots of things, but I hate them. And one of them is Miss Honey from Matilda. Yeah. I love Miss Honey. I hate her in almost every other thing I've ever seen her in. Well, she's Mean Rebecca from Bridget Jones.
Oh, yeah.
His lawyer girlfriend. So Caroline Bingley. Yeah. And the dude is Alessandro Nivola.
Who's that?
Did you ever see Jurassic Park 3?
No.
Where he steals the raptor eggs?
No.
Well, you watched Face Off with us.
Yes.
He's the little brother, Nick Cage's little brother.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why, because I love him in the third Jurassic Park because he steals the raptor eggs and it's like he's an idiot, but it's like interesting and I like him in that. And I like him in other stuff, but I hate him. I just hate him for no reason.
Just don't like the cut of his jib.
I don't get it. I also don't like that his names don't match.
What's his name again?
Alessandro Nivola. They are opposite gendered.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Oh.
I don't know. And her name is Mbeth Davids. That's gotta be part of it, right?
Yeah. No, that's part of it. No, that definitely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just hate Tom Brady.
Well, everybody hates Tom Brady now.
He is the most, forever. I have always hated him. Yeah. He is the most punchable face I have ever seen in my entire life.
He looks like death now.
Yeah, because Giselle Bundchen snapped his soul back.
Giselle said, "You think I'm not a bruja?"
Yeah. She said, "Mine's now," and then left.
He's getting the Prince William treatment.
Yeah. Fucking talk shit, get hit.
Start acting wrong.
Yeah.
Those witches will take it back. Oh, man. Okay, so I think we only just didn't finish talking about the Tristan and Paris thing, which basically the next morning, she's had a really good time. She's really excited about it. And then she's like, we should do it again. And he said, yeah, totally, as friends. But then, first of all, why are you doing it in front of everybody?
Yeah.
But both of you. Yeah. Why are both of you doing this in front of other people? And then Tristan, like, okay, fine, I didn't know it was a secret. But, like, don't say Rory told me to ask you out. Yeah. Are you new here?
Right.
Are you new?
You're an idiot.
And so that's when he's like, well, should I keep going out with her even though I like someone else? And she's like, oh, you're still into Summer. And I'm like, Rory, how did you get into Chilton?
Yeah. Book smart. No street smarts.
Yeah. But there is one little tiny moment that I love, which is that Madeline and Louise immediately rally to Paris.
Oh, yeah, they didn't even fully walk into the room.
Immediately. I love that. Their friendship is so strange to me, the three of them. Specifically the two of them with Paris, which I think we've talked about before. But I do love that it's that Gossip Girl thing. The end of season 1 of Gossip Girl, where Serena is doing too much, but she's like, I need you guys. And, like, they're all having problems within each other, and literally all of them are at Blair's townhouse, like, immediately.
Yeah.
And they close ranks. They will not let Dan in. It's amazing. It's, like, some of the best ensemble storytelling. And I mean that in a genuine way, because it's fascinating. But, yeah, I just love that moment. So, Rory's on the outs with Paris again. It's okay.
I know, she's projecting. She's not actually, like, mad at Rory, I'm sure.
I mean, she is, but it's like she has a really hard time, like, controlling her anger because she's so furious in the moment that she, like, explodes.
Yeah.
But it's like after she, like, calms down, she kind of realizes, but not really until next season.
Okay.
They're, like, at odds again for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah. Not too long, and they don't, like, interact a ton in those, because we've had, like, 4 or 5 episodes in the last, like, 8 where we haven't even been at Chilton.
Yeah.
So it goes in and out. But yeah, that is basically it for this episode. I like this one a lot because I just think that the first Lorelai is very funny.
Yeah, she was a trip.
She is a trip. Her actor's name is Marion Ross. She is so fun. And I think I went to look it up. She's in 6 total episodes.
Okay.
But one of them is the other character.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. We are going to go watch the next episode, and we will be right back. Or next week. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
But we'll be right back in here in 45 minutes.
Yes.
So, yes, like and subscribe. Let us know what you think, and we will see you next week.
Bye.